Yo, what is going on, guys? Tymestopper here, coming back at you another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about Chaos Ore, everything you need to know as to whether or not you should use your Chaos Ore that you got for free and the additional Chaos Ore you are bound to be getting in the future. What pieces should you use it on, when, how, and why? So let's jump into the video. Okay, guys, so first and foremost, we're going to be talking Chaos Ore. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions in the Discord about what is Chaos Ore, how does it work, what should you use it on, and things like that. And I'm seeing some terrible mistakes out there happen already. And I got to be honest, I think that this stuff is going to be rather rare. They're talking about you're going to be able to get it from events and probably buy it in the shop and stuff like that. So I can't imagine that it's going to be super plentiful, if you will. You're not going to get tons of this stuff, right? And each piece can only be reworked once, so you want to make sure that if you use it, you do it and make it count. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video where I talked about patch 5.10 and about Chaos Ore and the types of Chaos Ore, I suggest that you just double down on that. But real quick, there's 4 types of Chaos Ore. You can find it in your artifact section. All you gotta do is click on something, tell it you want to upgrade that item. You'll see the rework menu pop up and you'll be able to see your Chaos Ore. Now there's 4 different kinds of Chaos Ore. You've got 6-star legendary Chaos Ore, 6-star epic, 5-star legendary, and 5-star epic Chaos Ore. You can use it on anything that's below that, but just like legendary books, I don't recommend it. So for example, this piece right here is a 6-star Relentless Glove. If I decided that I wanted to use Chaos Ore on this, I have to use 6-star legendary Chaos Ore. I can't use anything less than that. However, if this was a worse off piece, I could, in theory, use it on that. So basically what it comes down to is you don't really want to use Chaos Ore on something that is a lesser value. You don't want to get less money out of it. You know, I could upgrade an epic champion with legendary skill tomes. There's no reason I would ever do that though. That would be insane, right? Same kind of concept with Chaos Ore. So basically what you do is when you go to use a piece of Chaos Ore, you're going to tell it that you want to rework that piece. So you're going to click on the ore. It's going to have a cost associated with it. 100,000 for the 6-star legendary, I noticed. I think it's 50,000 for the 6-star epic one so far. And when you go to rework this, it's going to re-roll all of the stats, no matter what they are. So, for example, on this glove, when we re-roll this, it could be a new main stat and 4 new substats. It could come back the exact same substat. It's all RNG. Now, any glyphs you've already used, you will lose those glyphs. So in this case, you can see I used a speed glyph on here to give myself 5 extra speed. I would lose that glyph entirely if I re-rolled this piece right now. But it's basically an opportunity to give me 5 new stat opportunities. Now, the rolls themselves are going to stay locked in where they are. So for example, this piece here, if I use this Chaos Ore on it, it's going to have a single extra roll on the first line, an extra roll on the second line, 2 on the third, and none on the fourth. But the substats can land anywhere they want. So this could land flat HP here next time that I roll this. This could land speed here next time I roll this, right? So it just depends, but you're still going to have the same number of rolls essentially, right? So being that this stuff is pretty rare, I wanted to talk a little bit about where you should use it, where it makes the most sense, because the truth is that there's going to be some places that the odds are astronomically against you getting a good roll on something. Sure, you could try for it, right? But there's really some good places that you can apply the Chaos Ore that are going to make more sense than others. So I'll tell you first and foremost, literally the best possible place that you could even consider using Chaos Ore is going to be on something that has a locked main stat and excludes substats. So what do I mean by that? Well, by far the 2 best places that you could use Chaos Ore would be on a weapon or a shield. Why is that? Well, the top stat always has to be flat attack on a weapon, right? So you know that. So there's no extra roll that it could possibly be. You're locked in there. So all it's going to randomize at that point is going to be the bottom 4 substats. Now, on a weapon, there's only certain substats that a weapon can hit. It can't hit defense percent. It can't hit flat defense. So it's going to eliminate a lot of the RNG basically on what it could be. And you can tell what this is just by looking at your inventory, right? So if you go in here and I say weapons and I tell it I just want attack, right? And I look at this weapon and then I say, okay, substats. Well, a weapon could roll flat HP. It could roll HP percent. It can't roll attack. It could roll attack percent. It can't roll defense or defense percent. It could roll speed. It could roll crit rate, crit damage, resist, or accuracy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that it could potentially roll on the bottom out of the 11 total possible combinations. Since the top one is locked already, that means you basically have 8 options that it could roll on the bottom. Now, let's be honest, most people probably want to roll speed. There might be some options where you're thinking, I really want a crit rate on this, or crit damage, or I don't know, some resistance rolls or accuracy rolls. But I gotta be honest, I think most people are probably going to use this to get better speed rolls initially. And that's, I know where I plan on using mine. So in this case, my goal would be to try to re-roll an item and have it hit more speed, right? So it's going to be on something that I've already rolled. So I'll give you an example. I went through my inventory and I kind of looked for something that I would potentially re-roll that is a weapon, right? So Faceless is running around right now with this piece right here. So it's a weapon, so I know it's going to roll flat attack no matter what. And then it's got these 4 substats. So ideally, when I would re-roll this with my Chaos Ore, I'm hoping that the 4th roll ends up in speed. Now, what are the odds of that? I mean, not only do I have to hit speed, but I have to hit speed on that bottom row for it to be a triple speed, right? So I have a better option with a weapon or a shield, because shields, like weapons, can't roll the opposite. So if you don't already know, like a weapon can't roll defensive rolls, defense or flat defense or defense percent. Well, a shield can't roll an offensive stat, so it can't roll attack or attack percent. So these are by far the 2 best items that you could potentially use Chaos Ore on to get the best possibility of stats that you might want, regardless of what they are. In this case, it would be speed, but the same would apply if I wanted crit rate to hit on a triple crit rate or crit damage or something along those lines, because the top can't change. And then the bottom, I basically just have to get it to line up where I want it to, right? Now, the next best place that you're going to be able to use it, ironically enough, is going to be a helm, right? Again, kind of for the same reason, right? Your helm, your top stat is locked. It's always going to be flat HP. Now, a helm can roll both attack and defensive stats. So there's 10 options for the substats to roll, whereas with the other ones, there was only 8. But again, not only do I have to get it to land on the substat I want, so I have to get this to roll. Let's say I wanted this to roll triple speed. I not only have to get it to land speed, but I have to get speed to land in the second row to be that triple roll. So again, I'm no math genius, but the odds don't look super good there, right? They're worse than the other ones, but when we start talking about the bottom row, you guys are going to be blown away when you think about the amount of combinations you could possibly have. So my first choice for you guys to use your Chaos Ore would either be on a weapon or a shield. Second choice would be on a helm. My third choice is going to be on your accessories. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. Accessories not only have less options they can roll, but there's unique accessories out there that give you an extra leg up, if you will, right? However, with your accessories, there's lots of special accessories that you can roll, right? So let's take the first and foremost, which is going to be reaction gear items, right? Probably the most sought after items out there for arena and whatnot, but there's other ones in accessories. Not only do you have those, but you have the cleansing items, like this cleansing banner I have here. And then there's also like your refresh items. I don't know if I have any just laying around. Oh, here's one. I got this refresh amulet laying around. So these are better items in theory. So you would want to make them better, because generally you don't get rid of them. Sometimes, like with the reaction stuff, you don't get rid of it no matter what it is. Like, for example, this amulet that Arbiter's rocking right now. If we can go in here, there we go. If we go in here to this amulet, you can see she's wearing an attack amulet. I don't care what the stats are on the amulet. It's the only one that I have that's reaction, but this would be an excellent item to potentially re-roll with Chaos Ore. It's a hard to get item, an amulet in High Elves, so no matter what this rolls, I'm still going to be able to put it back on Arbiter. And because it rolled attack on the top to begin with, I'm probably going to get a good roll on it no matter what. Now, yes, it sucks that I'm going to lose my glyphs here, right? So any glyphs that I've used, they're gone. Forget about them, out of here, right? But this would be a great item to re-roll. Your rings are going to be the biggest priority. And that is, again, because a ring can only roll 3 top row stats, right? It can only roll HP, defense, or attack. And then it can only roll technically 4 out of 5 options on the bottom. So it has the least amount of RNG for you. Obviously, re-rolling a ring isn't sexy, but you know, it's going to give you the best probability to come out with something good. Most likely where I see most people using these is going to be on amulets and banners that are reaction items, right? Because there's obviously going to be a lot of reaction items that just didn't roll the way you want to. For example, let's go back to High Elves real quick. Let's look at some banners, right? So my Arbiter's wearing a decent banner right now. Really like this banner. It's an accuracy banner, triple speed with a decent glyph on it. Obviously, it's going to suck that I would lose the glyph if I were to re-roll that, but I wouldn't re-roll that, right? I want a reaction banner for Arbiter. Now, as you can see, I've got several reaction banners in here, but that's because they're just not fast enough banners. So, for example, this banner right here, which you can't really see because it's behind me. Let me just take me off the screen for a minute. Boop. Okay. So as you can see on here right now, this banner is a decent banner. It rolled defense, it rolled in 1 into speed, and it's a triple HP banner. This is a pretty good banner, not going to lie. But I don't have a use for this banner anywhere on my account. As a matter of fact, as I look over High Elves, I don't see where I would ever use this on any champion, to be quite honest with you. Now, does that mean they could introduce a champion down the road where it might make sense? Sure, but you know what? I probably would take a chance on this and see if I can hit triple speed on that, because why would you not? It's a great item to try that on, right? Here's another reaction banner that I have. Defense, double speed. Now, this is not something you would probably re-roll. Why is that? Well, it's already got a double roll into speed. It can't get a better double roll into speed. You could get a better base stat than defense, like you could get accuracy or resistance, but then you could also lose the speed substat. So it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go ahead and do that. Now, again, more reaction items. But keep in mind that a banner can roll 1 of 5 top main stats and then 1 of 8 base stats. Now, technically it's 9 different base substats, but you can't roll the same stat on the top and the bottom. So, you know, let's call it 5 top stats and we'll call it 8 substats. But again, you'd have to get it to land in the right spot. So the odds are not in your favor there. However, accessories are clearly going to be the second best place that you could potentially use your Chaos Ore on. Lastly would be those coveted bottom row pieces, because the odds are ridiculously against you when you try to roll these bottom row pieces. You have a better chance of literally pulling the void Lego that you hoped on 1 void shard that you just happened to get out of fighting the Scarab boss than you do of rolling the right thing on any one of these, because the odds are crazy. Gloves, for example. Let's take a pair of gloves. Gloves, top stat, you've got 8 options for the top stat and then 10 options for the substat. Again, now there may be different main stats you would accept. For example, this pair of gloves the Arbiter's wearing. Most people would probably chuck a flat pair of gloves, but it's got a lot of speed on it. So of course I'm not going to chuck it, right? So there would be other things that you would accept as a main stat, but it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily roll better. It's not like if this was flat HP gloves and it's got a triple roll speed, I'm going to re-roll this. There's no way, in hopes that I get defense percent gloves with speed. The chances of that are so slim, it's not even funny. There's no way I'd ever do that. The only way you would ever really use it on a bottom row piece is if you just have something that you rolled just for the heck of it, and it's got a terrible main stat and terrible substat, so there's nothing you can do but improve it. But again, do you really want to spend your chaos ore on that? Now, gloves are a bad example. Chests are a bad example because, again, with a chest, there's 8 main stats, 10 substats it can roll. And then boots, you got 7 main stats and 10 substats you can roll. So the amount of combinations that you're going to get there just absolutely don't make sense to be using your chaos ore on any of those items. So if it were me and it was my chaos ore and I had to pick somewhere to use it, most likely I am going to use it on a weapon or a shield, and I'm going to try to get some speed on it because most other sets I'm not going to care about. Or I'm going to try to use it on a bottom row piece that's a special item, whether that be a reaction item that I can only basically improve because it was terrible to begin with, or it's a special item like a refresh banner or the cleansing banners, right? So that would be the only ones I would probably ever use it on. Now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and use a couple pieces of chaos ore because, hey, why not? I've already picked out 2 pieces that I want to use mine on, and we're just going to see what can happen, right? Because I'm a sucker. I love a little RNG in my life. So, as I mentioned earlier, my Arbiter right now only has a double roll right now on her weapon. I would really like a triple speed roll weapon, right? So, as you saw earlier, there was a reason I clicked on Faceless, right? He has this weapon right here. So we know if we re-roll this, it's going to roll flat attack on the top. I'm just praying to RNGesus that it hits speed on that bottom roll. Now, there are worse things that this could roll, but honestly, it could roll crit rate, triple crit damage wouldn't be terrible. It's obviously already triple HP, triple attack, probably not ideal, but you know what? That's what we're here for, right? We like to roll things. We like to take the odds. So let's see what happens. Let's try to upgrade this one. We're going to go from this one right here. We're going to go over to the rework menu. We're going to give it some chaos ore. We're going to hit rework and we're going to hope for the best. So let's see what we can get. Are you sure you want to rework this piece of gear? Sure, why not? I'll be your Huckleberry. Boom. Come on. Oh. Well, that just got progressively worse. That's for sure. So you can see that that's probably not the ideal solution, but that's what I'm talking about when I say about the RNG. It could be anything you want it to be. So there is one other piece that I want to try this on. I just have to find the piece. It's an epic piece. We're going to try for some super RNG on this one. I literally just pulled this one out a little bit ago. It is a chest piece that rolled flat attack and it's triple resistance. So let's see what we can get out of this one. This piece doesn't get much worse, so who knows? Let's go ahead. Let's rework this one. Little epic, 50,000 silver. Who knows? Come on. Can we get this thing to roll triple speed? That's all that matters right now. Triple speed. Come on. Let's go. Rework it. Give me that triple speed. Resistance with triple attack percent. Yikes. Not really what we wanted either. Did it get better? Not really. I mean, it's just a resistance piece. There's not very often you're going to run resistance and you're going to run attack percent, but hey, you never know. There's some unique stuff out there. The only problem is I can't rework that anymore. So do I roll it to 16? I don't know. Might have just wasted it. But anyway, guys, that's about all I have for today. I just wanted to quickly talk about chaos ore, where you should use it, when you should use it, and even should you use it. And the answer is probably no, you probably shouldn't use it yet until we know more about it. There's got to be a better use for it because right now, as you see, neither one of those really turned out how I want them to be. Both pieces ended up being a bust. How often are we going to get chaos ore? Who knows? But let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys decide to roll anything with your chaos ore? Did you get anything good? But as you can see, I surely didn't. But guys, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you guys next time. And of course, as always, until next time, be good.